Hello everybody, welcome to the beginning recorder video, some information and review for you to use when you practice. So it's never too late to go back and practice and review and learn. Okay, and with many things, especially in band and instrumental music, it's really up to you and your practice, so it is in your hands. So use this video for information and to clear things up and maybe a little bit of motivation, but really it comes down to practice. So let's review in this video our left hand. So the very basics are that we want our left hand on top. I hope this video flips properly so that it's my left hand on top. This is my left hand. You can tell by making two L's with your hands from your point of view. The left hand is the one that is an L. Alright? The left hand will always be on top for three reasons. One, the holes are lined up for that. Okay, they're not always in a straight, perfect line, and your hands aren't either, so your fingers are different lengths. And secondly, if you're going to play a woodwind instrument ever in the future, it has a lot of the same fingerings and skills and movements as the recorder. And thirdly, we need the right hand for down here later. Okay, so left hand on top. And speaking of that and our different length fingers, you need to round the hand, including the thumb, to make a C shape like this when you play all these notes. That way, all the holes are covered without any leaks. That's what's important here. So it's actually a relaxed hand. You can feel heavy fingers, but relaxed heavy. Okay, not tense. People will end up squeezing like this. One thing you want to check as you look in your camera or your mirror, make sure your fingers aren't pointing down to the floor. Okay, because then your third finger is not going to reach. Okay, we're going to bring our wrist down if we need to do that. Okay, but let's get started here. The first note is B. Right, it's a B with that hand. Right, thumb and pointer finger. Our second note is A, and our third note is G. Right now you can put your right hand at the very bottom just to support the weight of the recorder so that your left hand is free to be relaxed. B, A, G. Listen to your sound. Make sure it sounds how you want it to. You don't need much air at all on recorder. Okay, get a feather or a tiny piece of paper and you want to blow on it without it flying away. Or use the air you would use to fog up a mirror, warm and slow. So once you practice our basic B, A, and G exercises in the packet or on your own, or there's other resources here in these links in the music choice board. Once you do that, you want to practice moving between the three. Okay, thinking going upward, going downward. So as our fingers lift up, the pitch goes up. As our fingers go down, the pitch goes down. Same thing on the page. As the note heads go up on the staff, the pitch goes up and our fingers go up. So you want to practice like this. Okay, don't go faster than you're able to do without making a mistake. Once you make a mistake, your fingers and your muscle memory get a little confused, and you have to do it properly a bunch more times to overwrite that mistake in your brain, in your muscle memory. Okay, so I sped up because I was comfortable, but don't speed up beyond what you're comfortable doing. All right, so why don't we I'll demonstrate Merrily We Roll Along, okay, which is the Orange Belt song. And it has no skips in it. So everything is an up, down, or same. If a note stays on the line or on the space as it goes across, your fingers don't need to move. One other tip, always look one note ahead of the one you're playing so that you're ready for it. Okay? If you don't look until the beat comes, you don't have time to process the information. So merrily we roll along, the Orange Belt song. 1, 2, ready. All right, notice my fingers stayed very close by and there wasn't much movement at all. I'm sorry if I missed any small details in the music. I wasn't looking at it. All right, so we do have skips sometimes. So with these 3 notes, it's going to be from G to B or B to G. So if you see a note go from line to line, you know you have to do 2 fingers. So we have a few of these to practice in here, like number 11, Au clair de la lune, starts on G and it steps up, but then there's a skip, G, B, A. So you want to isolate that and practice just that part for a while. Make sure you look at the notes while you're playing them. And do it over and over. Now remember, to begin a note, you use your tongue to say a gentle ta, but it has to be a really mini marshmallow puff of air, just a gentle release so you don't get a squeak or a squawk or a chirp. Okay? Usually squeaks are caused by leaks, but if it's at the very beginning of a note, it's because the air is too fast at the beginning. So we use tonguing on all of our instruments to begin a note. Okay, you might have to explore a little bit, touch the tongue to the roof of your mouth behind your top teeth, or you might have to find a slightly different place. But it's very gentle, very gentle. Okay, once you have that G, B, A down, you can put it into context. Just play the second half of those 4 measures. And then you can play the whole song. Don't forget this one has a repeat sign. 1, 2, number 11. Notice the tempo, the beat is staying steady the whole time. If you can't do that, slow it way down. All right, the key to practicing is to do it slowly without making too many mistakes. Mistakes are good, or hearing that you're making them is good, but then slow it down. Don't continue to practice the easy part fast and then stop when you get to the hard part. Okay, do it all very slowly. Practice the harder parts more. Okay, there's one more note we'll talk about with the left hand, and that is C. It's the 3rd space note. And don't get confused. A lot of times B and C, the stems are going to point downward, but that doesn't really matter at all. What matters is where the note head is, what space or line it's on. Okay? So our 3rd space C is thumb and 2nd finger, middle finger. It's not just the 2nd hole, it has to be the 2nd finger. Our fingers never move to different holes, okay? And our holes never have more than 1 finger allowed to use them. I mean, it would work, but it's not going to help you learn a good technique. Okay, so C here, you want to practice first between A and C. It's important. This will prove to yourself that you have the correct finger down. So A and C, and then you can play Starlight, Starbright, which is just 2 beats on C, 2 beats on A, 2 on C, 2 on A, with some tonguing in there for quarter notes. Number 17, Starlight, Starbright. Okay, just 2 notes. It's important to be able to do that before you move on to harder things. Now you'll notice my fingers were down here. I got them out of the way so you could see, but I kept the thumb here. That's all you need to be able to control the recorder. Your thumb and your mouth, your right hand thumb down here, and your mouth. Otherwise, you won't be able to support against a G and these notes. Okay, that thumb is what you need there to keep your left hand relaxed. All right, let's just do 1 or 2 more with C. So next you can practice B to C. And by the way, the other practice videos that are here and on my YouTube channel should be a good help. They generally go in the same order, not necessarily the order of the method book. So I think it's good to practice B to C next. And number 22 is a really simple one. It does have 2 parts. The second part is all G to A, and the first part is all B to C. So this is a flip-flop. It can be tricky. Tonguing can help to hide any little overlaps, but you want to use your critical listening ear. Make sure it doesn't sound like this. Did you hear the A in between the 2 notes? Or even like this. There's an open note there between those. You don't want that. You need the timing down. So quick, firm movements. And I might be bringing my fingers far away so that you can see it on the video, but try to keep them nice and close. B to C. All right, and then one more we'll play. Oh, well, not number 19, Go Tell Aunt Rhody, is really good for practicing. It only has 1 C in it. So let's play that one. Go Tell Aunt Rhody. So first you want to find the C. It's in the 3rd measure, and then you want to put it into context, or isolate it actually, with the A before it and the B after, and then practice A, C, B. You don't even have to blow into the instrument. You could do it 10 times without, and then do it while playing. And then put it into context. So I'll play the 3rd and 4th measures there, starting on the half note A. Now, don't play the whole song and then stop when you get to the C. Make sure you practice that section until you have it down. Then you can play the whole song. And remember to look at the music while you play. Learning to play the recorder is great, but we are also learning how to read music and be able to do it without me there to show you. The second line doesn't have the letters inside the notes, but keep looking, and hopefully if you've been looking at the music and practicing enough, you won't even notice that those letters are missing. Okay, it actually at some point gets easier to read the notes without those letters inside to sort of confuse you and make half notes and whole notes look a little similar. Sorry, half notes and quarter notes. Because all you need is the line or the space that it's on to know the pitch. Here's Go Tell Aunt Rhody. 1, 2. All right, and then there's also 2 B to G, or there's a G to B and a B to G skip that you want to look out for. Last one here, number 21, Down by the Bay. Now this one, you should know how it goes if you know the song. If not, you find it and listen to it. That'll help you get the rhythms right and know that you're playing it correctly. And that goes for a lot of these songs that you know. This one is to practice G to C. Now this is a leap from G all the way up to C. I don't think it's too bad on the fingers because the second finger and thumb get to anchor it down. But you need to do it a bunch of times for your muscle memory to get locked into your brain. All right, your fingers probably aren't used to doing this too much for any reason, going from all the fingers down to these two coming back up. So you want to practice G to C. And then you also want to do G to B to make sure you can still remember that in your muscle memory. And finally, G, A, B, C. This is part of our scale. Okay, so, la, ti, do. It's at the end of the song. All right, let's go ahead and play this. Watch out when you're playing with the track. It has an incomplete first measure. It's a pickup measure, so you have an odd number of beats before you come in. That's why there's an extra beat at the end of the song. Make sure you rest on the beat ones where there's a rest. That'll help you come in at the right time as well. And if the eighth note pairs are tricky at first, just make them quarter notes. They're eighth notes because the words are where the watermelons grow. But you could just play them as quarter notes until you have it down. Okay, and then just add in two tongues, T, T. That's why we've learned ta and T over all these years with a T sound, because that's how we tongue. All right, 13 beat introduction, so I'll play after beat 13. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Rest. Okay, everybody, thank you for watching. Practice, you can share with me on Flipgrid. You can share with everyone on Flipgrid. You can give yourself belts if you have yarn around for songs that you've mastered in the belt songs. I usually use a C song to add a pink belt in if your class didn't get there after the orange belt, because the green belt with the right hand can be a little tricky. So let's see, sometimes it is Baby Shark, which is G-A-C. And it ends on a B there. And sometimes it's Disco Fever. I'll see if I can put that up. But if you can do Down by the Bay, I give you permission to give yourself a pink belt status. Okay, and then check back. I'm going to make more advanced videos for the right hand and super advanced stuff. I hope everyone's doing well, and you are practicing and playing for your family. I'm sure they appreciate it. See everybody.